Chapter 91. Wilbur laughed. This foreign guy would not expect Wilbur to have access to a world-class network of information and an elite hacker as well. The years he spent leading the Abyss mercenaries would not have gone so smoothly otherwise. Just then, Wilbur smiled. Santiago Tavella, you're involved in various scams around the world, and there's a warrant for your arrest. Are you trying to start something new again in Dasha now? Just tell us the truth. What do you want from Cindy this time? Santiago's expression shifted at once and began sweating profusely. He never expected someone in this country to know about his past. However, he was an expert in his field and did not let his panic show. He remained silent, racking his brain for a plan. Cindy, however, was unwilling to budge this time. She stood up in a fit of rage as she pointed at Wilbur. What are you trying to insinuate, Wilbur? How dare you accuse my boyfriend of being a scammer? You'll be held responsible for this. Wilbur decided not to beat around the bush anymore and changed his tone. You're getting out of line. Take a look at this. Wilbur took out his phone, pulled up the arrest warrant that Layla had sent over, then passed it to Cindy. She took a look at it, then began to tremble as she shook her head in denial. Impossible. This can't be. Impossible. You sure to have a lot of faith in him. Wilbur put his phone away, sitting down slowly to see just how far Santiago was willing to go with his lies. Just then, Santiago seemed oddly calm. He smiled at Cindy and said, "Darling, that's just made up. Just ignore him. I can take you to our headquarters tomorrow if you have any doubts. I'm sure everyone will be more than happy to have you there." Cindy relaxed at once, then looked at Wilbur. "Did you hear that? You really are quite bold to make up rumors like this." Anger slowly welled up inside Wilbur. Cindy was really stubborn. It did not matter anymore if she had broken any workplace laws or not. Woods Corporate had no place for someone like her. People like her were bound to get into trouble eventually. It was better to fire her as soon as possible. He looked straight at Cindy. "Cindy, you're one of the higher-ups at Woods Corporate, aren't you?" "That's right. You'll never get to where I am," Cindy scoffed haughtily. Wilbur frowned, then let out a sigh. "I was going to go easy on you on the account of us being classmates, but you really are too risky to keep around. You're fired." "What did you say?" Cindy barked. Wilbur remained calm. "You're fired." Cindy was at a loss for words for a while before suddenly bursting into a fit of laughter while pointing at Wilbur. "I'm going to wet myself laughing. Who do you think you are to fire me?" Wilbur remained silent and shook his head. He sent Faye a text to fire Cindy at once. Keeping someone like Cindy in the company was far too much of a risk. Cindy only grew even angrier at the sight of Wilbur occupied with his phone. "You useless piece of garbage. The only reason you're even eating with me at the same table is because we're classmates. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have the right to be within 6 feet of me. How dare you try to use our relationship as a talking point?" Oh. Nancy could not take it anymore and got to her feet. "Cindy, don't push your luck. We're all classmates at the end of the day. You can't say things like this." "Nancy, you really are silly." Cindy began to nag at Nancy once again. "I know far too well just what this penniless loser is trying to do. He's just jealous of how well we're doing in life and trying to find a way to drag us down so he can seem better. That's the reason he's trying to get closer to you. Don't fall for it. Thank you for your concern, but I know what I'm getting into. You, on the other hand, should really think about what Wilbur just said." Nancy knew how powerful Wilbur was and believed that he was not one to frame others like this. That foreign guy really was suspicious.